want to ask questions about me, I suggest that you ask me rather than others.
I didn't know you were there.
I don't like to be gossiped about. Do you?
I apologize. You're right.
If you're going to marry into the Desmonds, you have to accept their nature instead of demanding that we all conform to yours.
Is that why you took the totem from my bag?
I know nothing about a totem.
Well, you did take the document that I brought back from Boston.
I didn't take it. I found it.
It was in my bag.
Not when I found it.
How can you deny things that we all know to be true?
They're going to be married.
And I will not be the master of Desmond Hall.
We will find a way. Go. Leave me alone. I must think. Quel roi démon. I have served you well for 300 years. I have always found a Desmond for your purpose. Now help me find the new master who will save me from the fires of hell that have waited for me for 3 centuries.
The wandering brave returns.
I see your sense of humor hasn't improved during my absence.
Don't worry about mine. You're going to need all the humor you can manage.
And what does that mean?
Your girl's getting married.
My girl?
Yes. And don't pretend you don't know. I'm not blind to the singing of lovebirds.
Who told you?
Raxel. She was spreading the glad tidings.
Where is she?
Upstairs with the groom, planning her nuptials. I don't think you should do that. I think it would be awfully oafish of you, old fellow, to intrude at this time.
Don't leave. I'd like to speak to you.
Yes, Mr. Phillip?
You must believe that I sympathize with your position.
And I sympathize with yours.
I realize your duty is to Jean-Paul.
That is true.
And that everything you do is to protect him.
I try to.
Then can't you understand that I'm trying to protect him too?
You bring strange influences to him that can't help him.
In what way?
You've separated him from me. The only one who can help him.
And that's you, isn't it?
Yes.
And when the mark was on him and the evil star was in the sky, he tried to kill me.
You told me that.
And where were you at that time?
I don't remember.
Why weren't you at his side?
I locked him in the tower room where he would be safe.
Is that the best protection you could have provided for him?
Well, you should not have gone there.
I wanted to find out what was going on.
Now you know. Are you any the better for it?
It brought him from your protection into mine.
You've taken him from me.
What does it matter as long as he's safe?
He is not safe.
My guardian spirit protects him.
Are you sure of that?
Are you saying he isn't?
The curse that haunts my master will stay with him until he dies.
And if he dies, Raxel, what happens to you?
He will not die.
And why did you take the totem?
Do you think a little piece of wood and feathers can protect my master when all the forces of the dark regions cannot?
It isn't Jean-Paul my totem protects.
Miss Emily will be protected by her husband from now on.
I want that totem back.
I don't know where it is.
Bring it to my room before dark, or I'll turn this house upside down.
You will not find it here.
Then I'll turn Mrs. Hatter's house upside down as well.
Mrs. Hatter?
The lady you visited this morning, I saw you going into her house.
I had an errand to do.
Don't start making up stories. I want that totem back or you'll leave this house.
If I leave this house, it will be because I choose to, and for no other reason.
What did Raxel say?
She seemed very pleased with the news.
Pleased. She came right downstairs and accused me of gossiping with Court.
Were you?
Not really.
But, almost.
I was just asking him a few questions about her.
Well, she's very sensitive. She seems to feel she's in a very difficult position here.
Jean-Paul, you're so kind-hearted.
Darling, aren't you being a little unreasonable?
I don't think so.
Well, you act as if you were jealous of her.
Perhaps you're right. Maybe I am jealous of her.
Darling, don't be ridiculous.
But she's known you all your life. Oh, I am being foolish. Here I am, delighted at the prospect of marrying you, and I'm trying to change you already.
We'll work it out, don't worry.
Well, what do you want me to do?
I want you to apologize to Miss Blair. Tell her you were wrong in taking the documents from her briefcase.
I can't do that.
Humble yourself. Tell her you were worried about Jean-Paul.
Why are you so anxious that I humble myself before Miss Blair?
To gain time.
Time for what?
When they get married, they'll be going on a honeymoon.
And when they return?
We'll face that when it happens. If it ever does.
Philip, we were worried about you.
You shouldn't have been.
But you were gone for so long, we thought maybe something had happened to you.
I'm sorry if I made you anxious.
Where were you?
I took a drive along the river.
All day?
Well, I was trying to recapture something I seem to have lost.
What is it?
My boyhood, I suppose. When I believed that anything in the world I wanted would be mine.
I'm sorry, Philip.
Don't apologize.
You know already?
The court told me.
I wanted to tell you myself.
Never mind. It gave him enormous pleasure.
Philip, aren't you going to wish me happiness?
Yes, of course. Why can't you wait? Jean-Paul isn't safe from his star.
But you said he was.
Yes, as long as I'm here to protect him.
Well, then stay with us.
I can't spend my life as Jean-Paul's protector.
For my sake.
No. Not even for yours.
Well, if you can't stay with us, then you should return to your own people. We'll deal with our lives as best we can.
That's right. Smile. You don't have to deal with the living, do you? You lucky fella.
The bride-to-be. What an unexpected pleasure.
Why did you tell Philip?
Well, I had an irresistible urge to spread the happy news.
We wanted to tell him ourselves.
Oh, what a pity. Another Desmond secret has been revealed. But there are other secrets.
Don't make jokes.
I would never do such a thing. Your life is going to be hard enough as it is.
Oh, and don't try and frighten me either.
You've read enough about the Desmonds to know what kind of a strange family you're marrying into.
I'm not marrying a family. I'm marrying Jean-Paul.
Another Mrs. Desmond joins the list.
What list?
You haven't been studying your books very carefully.
Well, there's hardly any mention of the Desmond wives in the books.
Don't you find that suspicious?
What are you implying?
You may think that the Desmond men are unfortunate, but wait till you find out what happens to the women who are so unwise to marry them.
Oh, you're making this up, aren't you?
Ask Jean-Paul.
Ask him what?
Begin by asking him about his first wife.
Erica?
Yes, the beautiful, mysterious Erica, who died at Maljardin.
What do you know about her?
Very little. I wasn't there, and I didn't marry her.
Raxel was there. I'll ask her.
Ah, yes, but you made an enemy of Raxel. That was very foolish of you.
She doesn't want me to marry him
Why do you think that is?
because she wants to keep him from the happiness that should be his.
Perhaps. But then perhaps she doesn't want his wife to find the sorrow that comes to all the Desmond women.
It's very important to me that you and Emily be friends.
I'll try. I'll do my best.
Philip, where were you? We were worried.
Well, I had some errands in the village.
I must go.
No, stay. There's something I want to find out from you.
I've answered all the questions I'm going to answer today.
Well, someone else is going to ask you questions now.
Master, don't let him do this to me, please.
Philip does what he has to do.
He will bring harm upon me and evil upon me.
Arendo does not work evil.
Why are
Stay
you
here.
frightened, Raxel?
Gaigosa, listen to me, Arendo. Look into this woman. Look into her heart.
What's going on in here?
Don't let them harm me, Master Cort, please. Keep them away from me.
What were you doing to that poor woman?
You stay out of this.
And what do we have here?
Just keep away from it.
So these are the kind of games you play in secret.
That's enough, Court.
Poor Emily.
Stop it.
It's not only bad that she has to marry into the Desmond family, but she also has to put up with totems and Indian masks as well.
You don't seem very pleased.
I'm not.
I'm sorry, Philip. Really, I am. I know how much Emily means to you, but she loves me.
I accepted that fact long ago.
Then what is it?
The court's right. Emily's marrying into a family cursed with misfortunes.
Not any longer, thanks to you.
Well, don't thank me yet.
Listen, don't think I don't appreciate the sacrifices that you've made.
You don't understand.
You have freed me from the terror that has pursued me since Maljardin.
I've tried to.
Because you love her.
No, Jean-Paul. I've done what I've done because she loves you.
You mustn't ask me about that.
Answer me. What was that face in Jean Paul's bedroom?
It was an ancient god of Mr. Philip's people.
What were they forcing you to do with it?
I can't tell you that.
Raxel, what were they doing? Why were you so terrified?
I was not terrified, but I will not allow myself to be subjected to the will of others, that is all.
What power does a painted mask have?
It brings an evil spirit that works against us.
And why does Jean Paul have to resort to spirits for help?
He has many secrets.
Only you know his secrets. I want you to tell me them.
I will not reveal the secrets of my master.
Not even to the one who will be the next master of Desmond Hall.
When you become the master of Desmond Hall, there will be no secrets between us.
But until that time, I must remain ignorant.
Oh, you are so impatient. Learn to wait. Time will tell you what you have to know.
If you don't tell me, I'll ask Jean Paul myself.
You can't do that.
I'll tell him that you showed me the totem and that you're hiding it somewhere.
Your threats are pointless. You risk only your own future.
You make it very difficult for me to trust you.
You must, or we fail.
Am I to trust Irene Hatter, too?
She will do as I say.
She has betrayed everyone who has tried to take her into their confidence. Now, why should she treat you any differently?
She is in my power now.
Be careful. She'll draw you into her net and she'll use your powers against you.
Let me handle her.
You don't know her. She poses as a silly society woman. She may fool Jean-Paul and Laszlo, but she doesn't fool me.
Oh, you exaggerate her importance.
She tried to make friends with me. She tried to get me into her strange group of people that hold hands around her candles.
What do you know about that?
I just told you. She tried to get me into her group of people, but I refused.
Perhaps you should reconsider.
I have other plans.
Do not make any plans without consulting me.
You have secrets that you won't tell me. Now, why should I reveal mine to you?
Because you don't know what you're doing.
Oh, yes, I do. I know very well. And when my plans work out, I won't be the child that you treat me like. I can manage by myself.
Am I never to marry Emily?
Well, do you wish the same fate on her that befell Erica?
Don't speak about Erica.
I must speak about Erica, and of many other unpleasant matters.
That's over and done with.
Do you really believe that?
No, you're right. I try to convince myself I'm free. And each step forward to freedom leads me 2 steps backward to the curse of that star and the mark of death.
Well, now that you admit that possibility, let's see if we can trace it to its source.
Again, cousin?
Yes, again. And again until we find some answers.
Raxel, I owe you an apology. I was upset. I had no right to accuse you.
Please, Miss Blair, I must go.
If you did take the totem, I understand why.
Do you?
You want to guard Jean-Paul from evil.
Who told you to say that?
No one. I want to be friends, Raxel.
Why have you changed so quickly?
You're the only person who's really been close to Jean-Paul.
He seems to have forgotten that lately.
I know, and that's my fault, not his. Let's be friends.
That's for you to say, not me.
Let's try and bring him peace and happiness together.
He will not find happiness with you.
Why not? Most men find happiness in marriage.
Not the Desmonds.
Then Court was right when he said that women who marry the Desmonds live to regret it.
The Desmonds were not meant to share their lives with others.
I don't believe that.
You are young and trusting. You do not believe that life can damage you.
I won't let it happen.
Ask Ada Thaxton about her mother and father. And then ask her about her Uncle Benjamin Desmond and his unhappy wife.
I'll do that.
And then ask Jean-Paul about his mother and his grandmother.
I'm not afraid to find the truth.
Then ask him about his wife, Erica.
I'll do that too.
And then if you feel you still have the courage to face what life has in store for you as the wife of a Desmond, go ahead and marry him.
Where do we begin?
We begin where we began before.
Philip, will I never be free to act upon my own?
Arenda will lead us to the truth. Gagosa, face of Arenda, hear my supplication. Show us where we go from here. Lead us from the dark into your light. Arenda, lead us to the truth. Send the beat of the drum to us. pulse of your heart. Send the wisdom of our ancestors. Give us the signal. Well, don't leave your kinsmen in despair. Don't abandon us. Don't leave us at the mercy of our enemies. Speak, Arenda. By drumbeat, by teardrop, by signal, or by sound. Arenda was angry with us. I've deserted his son, the totem. We failed.